Günaydın, nasılsın? Saat 8:15. How we doing? Sorry, that was Turkish. Morning all. Bit of a quiet week on the pond this week. No dramas, no clickbait. I've just recorded this video once and my microphone cut out, so I'm having to do it again. So yeah, just doing a pond clear, a filter clean. So that's bubbling away behind me. Done the water tests, full spectrum this week. Ammonia 0, nitrite I'd say 0.5 to 1. I can never get that to 0. I don't know, I just can't. Nitrate 0, pH spot on, KH that's dropped a bit, should be 7, I'd say it's 5.5 to 6, and general hardness is should be 8, that was about 13. So I think some bicarb's got to go in the pond today, which brings me on to the main part of the video, to be honest. The other, before I come to that, the other part is one of my koi, and you'll have to forgive me because I can't get the Japanese names in my head. I can get one or two of them in my head, but most of them I can't. So basically the fish is just orange and white. Someone will drop a comment of what the Japanese reference is, but it's just black and white. And when I got it, it was black and white, just orange and white. But over time I've noticed it's developed black freckles, and I'll try and drop a video in if you can see him. So good or bad, I've googled it, and I can find it's come of one or two things. One, it's either a parasite worm that can develop black spots, but the spots would be raised, and these don't appear to be, and they're more spots, defined spots. Or the other one is conditioned due to hardness of water. I know I've got hard water. Begins with an S, something like that. And basically the hardness of the water the fish can develop more of a black freckle appearance. So I would, in my head, that's what it is. But if I can get a video on here and you can see, let me know what you think. So yeah, but the main point of the video today is, last week there was a few videos knocking about, some sort of bad news videos. One was from Koi Services Steve, who, as I've said before, built my pond, built the wildlife pond for me. He has another customer who invests a lot of time, money in the pond, invests a lot in Steve going round periodically to check, maintain her koi collection, which is big, and not necessarily big, but it's worth a fair bit of money. And in a very sort of, in a nutshell, what's happened is she's got a problem. Steve went round, diagnosed, scraped the fish, diagnosed fluke. I'll go as far as to say skin fluke. Suggested PP, that's Mavis on sniper duty. PP and fluke P. She went to buy some PP, fluke P, couldn't get the fluke P. They gave her something else. Through a conversation suggested she got someone else to have a look at her fish. Another person went round, scraped the fish, came up with Costia and fluke, and rather than bad information or anything such as that, I think it was more of a misinterpretation of what she should do with the treatments. And in a nutshell, she overdosed with PP. As a net result, she lost the entire collection of fish. The other disaster that was documented last week was Black Country koi bloke Davey. Now Davey, by contrast, my opinion is Dave's got a wealth of experience. And the network of friends that he's got have got untold experience. But he had a new fish come to him, and for whatever reason he'd never done it before, and I don't think he'll do it again. I think he said he'll never do it again. But he wanted to dip the fish before he put it into his collection, and I can see the sense in that, and I know other people who do it, that you bring a new fish in to protect your existing collection. You give a bath of whatever, in this case PP, just to protect your existing collection, and then put it into the pond, and it went wrong, and he was bad news, devastated that he lost that fish. Not only is he sort of devastated for the fish itself, I think he's disappointed in himself that he's done something that he's never done before and it's gone wrong. And he didn't do it, and he'll correct me if I'm wrong, I know he will. He didn't do it in terms of seeking advice to learn more. I think it was, let's try something new, and if there's a benefit we can carry on doing that. But he went wrong and he lost the fish. But the point of it is, the chord that it struck with me is, me personally, I know very little. You could fit into that what I know about fish. So me, I will always, if I've got a problem, hence the fish with the freckles, I'll come on here and ask people with more experience, what do you think? But one person might come back to me, and I've seen this loads, certainly on Facebook. You lot, pack it in. I've seen this sort of, you go on Facebook, somebody will, can someone please advise, and you get about half a dozen, if not more, different opinions of what it is. And then someone who doesn't know is then sat there thinking, well, which piece of advice do I need to take? Which one's right? And where do I need to go? We invest a lot of time, energy, certainly money, emotional attachment to fish, or our collections and our ponds and things like that. We want to do the best for them, hence why we're asking questions. But it's when you ask a question here and a question there and you get two different, where do you go? It's a tough one. There's another video that I watched last week. Is it Koi Pond Johnny? And I've watched a few of his videos, and I know it seems that this year he's been suffering with his water. He's had problems with his fish, and like many of us, will see a problem and we will treat the pond and treat the fish, and that may lead to something else, so we're treating a secondary thing, and so on, and we can never seem to get on top of it. This year it seemed, for me, we've I don't think really the season's really started in a sense, and it's feeling cold now. Leaves are starting to drop, and we're coming to the end of it. Probably sort of maybe next month. Covers will be going on. But the result of Johnny was that, again, through information, through seeking advice and speaking to someone more experienced than himself, they said, just leave it, let the balance be found by nature, and that's obviously always going to be present out in the wild. The fish and everything else that lives in the wild will find a balance. You know, the streams will and the water will find its own way of oxygenating the water, of filtering the water. You know, you got to think that the fish are there, but if the conditions weren't right for the fish wouldn't be there in the first place. So it's nature will find a way, and so the sort of the breakdown of that was just take a step back, let things balance it within reason, take a step back, keep an eye on it, you know, unless things start to go wrong, then sort them out, but otherwise just let nature find its way, and see where you go. And that struck a chord, because my first pond, hole in the ground, or I dug the hole in the ground, stuck a preformed pond in, 1200 litres, banged a pump, a filter on it, just let it get on with itself, put some small fish in there, and it was never intended for fish, believe it or not, the original pond. We used to have a flock of ducks that used to come and land in the garden every day and then fly off for the night, so we put a pond in for the ducks in the day, and the buggers never come back. So I put some fish in that were, you know, sort of like that, which we've still got silver. We lost gold. Silver's an original, lemon's an original, and so is the rudd that's in it. And I bought the rudd to eat the algae, because at times it was like, yeah, thank you, Woody. Would you believe it or not, this lad's going to Crufts next year? Yeah. He's going to Crufts. Go on. Didn't know what I was doing, dug a hole in the ground, let it go on myself. At times there was algae, it was like the fish were swimming through a kelp forest. Water clarity was up and down, but the fish fine, appeared fine. You know, occasionally a sort of flick, and I'd put a parasite, broad spectrum parasite treatment in, and things like that. Then we get on, you know, start to fall in love with it, and then have a new pond built, 6,000 litres, easy pond, 2 pumps, water blades, UVs, and you start looking more, and you invest in microscopes and start scraping fish, start treating the pond when you find things wrong, testing ponds, and you're almost looking for things to go wrong, and then start throwing in formaldehyde, malachite, PP, bicarb, salts, baths, and all the rest of it. So, you know, sometimes perhaps I do need to sort of tell myself to step back and trust what's going on, but it's hard to do that when you are invested and you want it. And you know, I think every video I sort of comment on the clarity of my water, and I want more clarity, you know, looking at you guys, the clarity of your waters, a crystal, and I would say mine is 90% there, maybe. So yeah, it's just that's a couple of chords that's been struck with me over the last week. So I thought I'd sort of say, you know, guys, Sometimes you do need to trust your gut reaction, your gut feeling, sorry. I've done that. I've had a problem and I thought, this, I need to do this, and I thought, no, you know, maybe I've taken a bit of advice, or this is in my head what I should do, and I've done it, and maybe ended up still losing the fish, and I thought, should have trusted my gut, should have gone with it, trusted my gut. So yeah, but thanks for all the comments. I'll try and tag on a video of my orange and white fish. So someone can comment on that. Went to the koi show last week, actually, in Wolverhampton. Yeah, definitely got some koi envy there, and some stunning fish, and the size of them, yeah, absolutely stunning. Saw a few faces from videos that I recognised, but I didn't want to go over and sort of seem like a madman coming over to you, like, so yeah, so that was yeah, nice couple of hours out, and I think that's about it for me. So I'll see you all later. Cheers now.